Kemba spoke today, and he's amazingly sunny and positive about everything. And he just talked about it like, oh, it's a setback. Brad said the same thing. Oh, it's just strengthening. If the season was starting in January, we'd be fine. You guys might not even know about this. No big deal. That's not how I see this. We've got a guy who, once again, after a 4-month window in the bubble, before the bubble started, had issues as soon as he started playing basketball again. Now here we are as training camp's about to begin, and it's, oh yeah, no, he's not even close to playing basketball again. The knee is obviously a real issue. Brad Stevens said it on one of our podcasts on CLNS Media last week. He's not going to be ready. That was kind of a little precursor to this. Yeah. 12 weeks stem cell injection in the knee. Almost every kind of Twitter doctor out there, and Jess D, I talked to Doc Jess Flynn from Boston Sports Journal. She said the same thing. She's been saying it forever. This is an arthritic condition more likely than not. This stuff doesn't necessarily get better. You may be able to kind of fight it off a little bit, but my fear here is there's no guarantee this gets better ever. It might be, okay. Best case scenario, I think, is management over a period of time with him missing some games, minutes restrictions, X, Y, and Z, and you hope you get through a season, but he might have to sit a whole bunch of games. Worst case is he comes back and it's like, nah, it still sucks. It hurts like hell. I can't play. That's bad. I mean, the most telling comment Danny Ainge had in the whole thing, guys, was asked about whether this is a long-term concern. He said, this year is going to determine a lot of that. That's terrifying from Danny Ainge, who's normally going to say, like, it's totally nothing, rub some dirt on, and he'll be back out there in 2 weeks. So around the horn, Josue, your thoughts here, just on hearing the news and your level of concern with Kemba.
No, you just nailed it with the Danny Ainge quote, because I thought that stood out as well, because I think it's really telling. I think it was really honest of Danny to say, let's face it. I mean, it's not going to get any better. That's exactly what this injection is. I mean, it's to boil it down. It's how is Kemba going to live with this now? How can you manage this pain? Can you, are you as mobile as you were throughout the postseason? If so, that's going to be a bad thing. As he said, he didn't feel good in the postseason. He doesn't want to feel like that again. He doesn't want to be able to or have to play with that level of pain. So I think that's what this shot is necessarily is. Can Kemba live with this? How can he manage this pain? The next 8 to 12 weeks, I think, is going to be that's the goal. How can Kemba be most comfortable with this pain? And then let's just shoot for it through the end of the season, go through the postseason, and let's stretch it out. But at the same time, though, a limited Kemba. I don't think you see a full-strength Kemba out there. Second night of back-to-backs, those type of stretches, forget it. That's out of the question for the Celtics team. This team is going for it. They're still going for it. If they weren't going for it, Kemba Walker would have been going through surgery, or they would have been taking another road, another step here. They're going for it here, guys. Well, I think a lot of this has to do also with how he's going to respond and how the team's going to look like without him. How strong can this team be? That first month of the season without Kemba Walker.
They can be solid. They can be solid without him. They've done it before. They plug in pieces.
Well, I don't want to get into that yet because we're going to get into that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. But yeah,
if I start talking about friggin' who's backing them up right now, I'm going to get too depressed to finish the hour.
What stuck out to me today?
Let's save that for the end.
Let me ask you, Bobby, just because you were on the chat today, what did you get off of it? Did you feel any better listening to him talking today?
Yeah, the key thing for me is he's going to take his time.
Of course you did.
I remember in the bubble.
Unbelievable.
He was it's a totally different Kemba yesterday. Sure, there was cheery optimism, as you say, John, but the biggest difference I saw between the bubble and today, he is going to take his time. He's not pushing to get back. He said he's excited to relax, take it easy, and
that's what the break was before the bubble, by the way. But okay.
Well, I'm just saying, when he gets back from the bubble,
that's what that was for, and it didn't work. It was 4 months.
Yeah, did you forget the months that we had between games?
4 months.
Well, it's pretty clear that he was doing something during that time that must have aggravated it, got it flaring up again, some amount of training.
No, but I think that helped him.
This is what I'm talking about. He was pushing to get back when the bubble comes up, and then they're taking him out of playoff games, trying to minimize those minutes, and he looked frustrated. Now he's willing to take the time. He's willing to do what it takes to get back out there.
Okay.
I thought there was some level of frustration in the bubble over the summer. Go ahead.
Okay, so everything is awesome, and Bobby's pumped.
I'm just saying he's
pumped because
buying
Kemba
into the
Walker,
approach now.
Yeah, Bobby's pumped because Kemba Walker's going to take his time, and he's going to like slowly come back. And we're going to be talking about when's Kemba Walker going to be play for the Celtics. It's going to be February. We're still going to be talking about it. This is what the Celtics do with injuries. They kind of string you along. They don't kind of tell you exactly what's going on. You can.
Well, let me ask you this, Jimmy. Did it work or not in the bubble? Did the plan work or not?
No, it didn't work.
It worked. He was
Kemba
back
Walker,
to playing
the
at a
plan
good
for Kemba
level in the
Walker worked.
postseason.
Bobby, are you serious right now? I mean,
Yeah, he was
after
scoring 20 points. He killed Philly, had a good series against Toronto overall. It tapered out at the end, but they got him back to playing at a high level.
People were dogging him against the Raptors, and people were dogging him against against the Heat. He had a good series against.
We're overstating how good he was in the playoffs in the bubble. I think he was fine, and then he was
fine.
But
we
and
all
then he was
said
not so good. Yeah,
we all said it doesn't look like Kemba out there. Something's
even
up. Something's up.
when he was efficient, he was 1-on, 1-off. He had a game where he took 7 shots. He wasn't even getting involved, and then another where that series he played well. He was 1-on, 1-off. It wasn't consistent there, and then he was just his efficiency went out the window. He couldn't do anything he normally does.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they leaned on, especially in the fourth quarter. We'll get more into this later because I know we're going to talk about how this team is going to, try to survive without him. But that's a huge loss, and I think that's when his play was most magnified throughout the postseason. Was in the fourth quarter when they really needed those buckets. He wasn't there. It was a couple turnovers. Defensively, he just wasn't himself.
And I'm not knocking him for the effort, and I give him all the credit in the world for wanting to play and coming back when he did. But I think the Celtics have said it, and he pretty much said it. He wasn't himself. They may have screwed up by rushing him back. So yeah, of course they're gonna go slowly here. But when you're talking about degenerative knee issue or whatever it is that's going on, it's not there's no way to paint this as a good thing. It's not a good thing.
No, there's no way. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
I'm saying getting stem cell treatment. There's not a it's a relatively.
That's a Hail Mary. That's a Hail Mary.
It's relatively new in the grand scheme of,
and it's not
modern day.
Definitively something that works.
No, it's something that can certainly alleviate pain over time. But we're talking about your average Joe, I think, for the most part. I mean, Joe the plumber, gets a needle in his knee or whatever. He's not playing basketball 100 miles an hour against the best players in the world. That pain could probably come back a lot sooner for a guy like Kemba Walker to stay at the top level. So it's a little troubling for me to hear that. Now, I'm not going to say it's not going to work. What the hell do I know? It might work. It might make his knee less painful enough where he can be 90, 95%, the way he was. And that's great. It's not something that you needed to work for the next 20 years. You needed to work for the next handful of years for him to finish out his career at a high level. So maybe in that sense it works, but it is troubling because you see Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. He had the stem cell. I think I saw Pau Gasol had the stem cell. There's been other athletes in pro sports. I know A-Rod did it. These guys are going to Germany for this stuff. So I don't even know how intense his is compared to those, but I know that there is a long process before you start to feel the pain. And, hopefully it does work because the Celtics are clearly going to need this guy. Well,
let's be clear. I do think, I don't know. And again, that's why I don't want to be alarmist and gloom and doom with it. But I'm surprised the amount of people are like, oh, it's just January. That's not what they said.
No,
that's not what they said.
They're going to give us an update.
They said in January they will assess his situation. That means nothing. There is no, in a perfect world, by January he starts to do basketball related activities, ramps it up, and comes back. And
are you guys truly worried about the team without him in January though? I mean, let this run till March.
No, what I'm saying is you get to January, it's not how long they're without him. When you get to January, what I'm saying is nothing is certain here. When you get to January, you might discover that things are not well.
Walker.
Then it's what the hell is plan B? And apparently the Celtics are all about plan Bs this year. You're stuck in that spot, which is like, oh crap, now what? So like I said, this is a bit of a Hail Mary. It may work, it may not. It may do just enough to get him through this year, and then you kind of start the process over and see what happens beyond that. It may not be good at all. We don't know.